Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday to everyone. Hope you all have an excellent weekend. But we have an article here from The Guardian which asks the question that I think everyone wants to know the answer to. Can Star Wars finally shake off the shadow of the original trilogy? Well, there's a lot of thoughts here because when we look to the new trilogy, when we look to the sequel trilogy, what we see are a lot of films that try to use certain aspects of the original trilogy so that they can get fans into the seats and then fail to actually sell those fans on the new product. And this is really what the biggest problem going on with Disney Star Wars right now is that they have relied so heavily on the original trilogy to try and bring people in, but have failed so miserably in being able to establish new characters that people can fall in love with. Now, does that mean that there's no one out there that doesn't like, there are people out there that don't like Rey, or that everyone doesn't like Rey, or everyone doesn't like Finn, or Rose Tico, etc.? No, I mean, there are people out there who do like these new characters. There are people out there that will continue to see these Star Wars movies, but it's not nearly enough to keep it going. The only thing that's really keeping Star Wars afloat at this point is the sequel trilogy, or rather, correction, is not the sequel trilogy, is the original trilogy. And the reason why is because those movies were so good, were so profound, had such a huge cultural impact on the United States and also on the entire world, essentially, that it's just not something that can just be swept aside and said, oh, look, we can give you just these little tiny piece of candy, but we're not going to give you the giant bowl of candy. We're not going to give you all the good stuff because we know that if we do, you'll be happy. It's one of the dumbest decisions, like one of the dumbest business decisions that's ever been made. If you know that fans like something, if you know that audiences want to see something, you should give it to them. Because guess what? Those people are going to go see your movie, are going to take in your content, are going to buy your merchandise, are going to buy your Blu-ray, buy your DVD, and all these other things. And guess what? You just made a ton of money. And guess what also? You made them happy. So guess what? When you put another thing out there, oh, they made me happy last time. Oh, I'm going to come back next time. That's how marketing works. That's how business works. You try and make your customers happy, period, and stop. Now, there are some people out there who say, oh, we're not customers. When you're going to see a movie, you're not a customer. It's like, excuse me, am I not buying a ticket to go see your product? Am I not also most likely trying to buy merchandise as well that is based off of your product? That makes me a customer. If I'm buying games or paraphernalia, or even movie tickets, guess what that makes me? That makes me your customer. And what you've learned with the box office for Solo is that the customer does have a voice. Because guess what happened when Solo came out? Hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands, possibly, definitely thousands of people chose not to go see it. Not, oh, I'm not interested in it, or, oh, what's Star Wars? People who actively made a choice to say, no, I'm not going to see this because, one, I have no interest, and two, Disney has taken Star Wars and thrown it down the toilet. Because that's what's been going on at this point. They took the original trilogy. They took all the goodwill from the original trilogy, even after the prequels. Even though the prequels definitely did test the loyalty of the fan base. Guess what happened after the prequels? We got a new series. We got The Clone Wars, which was an incredible series. That's why I love that article from a while back that said Star Wars was dead before Disney came along. No, Star Wars is actually doing pretty well. Guess what happened? Clone Wars came around and they got 5 seasons of it, and it was such a good show, and it kept everything alive. Guess what also happened? Hundreds of novels came out during that same time period as well, and many of them were excellent and dove further into the extended universe, dove further into the characters, created new characters and new storylines, and guess what? Those new characters were able to exist without the original trilogy. Those new characters and stories were able to exist without Han, without Leia, without Luke. The reason why is because they did not go off on some stupid tangent on Canto Bight to talk about, oh, yeah, greed is bad. They didn't do that because they focused on telling a good story, a good narrative with good character arcs. That's something that the current crop of Disney films just don't really have. You don't really have any great story arcs. You don't really have any good plot points. You have a few gems here and there. You have a few interesting things here and there. And one of the best evidence, some of the best evidence for this is Ivor Ortega. So if you have not seen Ivan Ortega's channel, please go check him out. Just Ivan Ortega, put it on YouTube, look at his videos. He's a brilliant, brilliant editor. I cannot wait to see what this guy's able to do. Obviously, he spent a lot of time focusing on The Last Jedi, but honestly, I'm excited to see anything that this guy does. Even after he finishes The Last Jedi, I think that this guy has a very bright future ahead because he knows how to tell a story through editing. Again, that's his gift. His gift is editing. There's some people whose gift it is to guide actors to give the best performances. It's some people to guide the actors by giving them the perfect lines to read and being able to make their job as easy as possible by putting emotions and notes and everything like that into their actual scripts. Some people have that. What Ivan Ortega has is he has a gift of editing. He has a very good eye. So he was actually able to look at The Last Jedi like 70 plus times. I think was by the end of it, he watched the movie 70 plus times all the way through. And what he was able to do was he's able to say, wait a minute, this movie sucks. This movie is poorly put together. This movie has terrible characters, terrible character arcs, and does a lot of things wrong. But there are some things done right from a visual perspective. There are some things that I can use. I might have to add things in, move things around, but there is enough good in here for me to be able to make a better film. And guess what he's done? He has now made a better film. He just released the official trailer for the film last night. I highly recommend that you watch it. I'm going to link it below in the description for this video because it truly is amazing. If you liked The Last Jedi, you will love this trailer because to me it just makes the movie so much better. It really does. It takes a story. It takes what could have been. It takes what could have been with Episode 8 and explores it. And makes some very interesting, bold decisions that I think does a lot of fan service. And I know there are some people out there that say, oh, you know, fan service is overrated, but I'm sorry. If your franchise is based off of fan service, if your franchise is based off of making fans happy and giving fans something to love, Disney has failed miserably at that. Compare that to Ivan Ortega, who knows as a fan what he wants, knows other fans out there also who know what they want, and he knows what they want, and he was able to somehow, some way, cut this film into something new and bring it into the world. So I recommend that you watch this trailer because it is absolutely fantastic. It is amazing. I don't want to show it on the channel just because I want to make sure he's able to get all of the views for it because it really is amazing. And please, if you watch the video, give an awesome thumbs up and like to that video because this guy has put so much time, so much effort, and also so much heart into this trailer that it really is amazing. So can Star Wars finally shake off the shadow of the original trilogy? No. And the reason why is because they've done so much damage now to the original trilogy. People just don't understand that when we look at The Last Jedi, some of the decisions that were made in that ruined aspects of the original trilogy. And so since they've now broken the original trilogy, since they've now broken the fandom to the point where fans are not going to be wanting to go see Episode 9, fans are going to be continuing to boycott the film or just have no interest in seeing it whatsoever, they're never going to be able to get out of the shadow because if they try to build something new, when they've pissed off the fans so much, guess what you kind of need to get something new started? You need the original fan base. Some people might say, oh, but what about new films that come out that get fans randomly? What about, new concepts? Well, you can't do that in a universe that's already been pre-established, that already has a pre-established fan base, let alone a pre-established fan base that you have ticked off to no end. So all you're doing here is setting yourself up for future failure the more and more you continue to go down this path. But guys, what do you think about this? I know that some people are like, oh, you didn't go into the article. Because I didn't need to. Because I think this question is enough for you guys to respond to. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you honestly think that Star Wars, that Disney Star Wars, can really shake off? And I love how it says the shadow of the original trilogy, like it's some kind of evil monolith standing over it. The only person, the only group standing in the way of Star Wars moving forward are the current leaders of Star Wars, are the Kathleen Kennedys, the Rian Johnsons, all of the people currently, Bob Iger I would throw in there too, all of the people who are in charge of Disney and are in charge of Lucasfilm at this point. They are the ones that are the shadows over the Star Wars universe. They are the ones that are holding that universe back from moving forward. Because you could make a new Star Wars story with new characters. You could do that, and it could do well. The problem is that if you can't even make fans happy with what you already have, what's already been pre-established, how in the hell are you going to make those same fans happy with something new? especially if you're continuing to throw in your identity politics, NPC, SJW nonsense into it. So I would love to hear all of your thoughts to this question. If you think Star Wars can finally shake the shadow of the original trilogy, and actually going to the accurate question, do you think that Star Wars will ever be able to shake the shadow of the Disney era? Do you think they're ever going to be able to shake the shadow of Kathleen Kennedy and of Rian Johnson and of Bob Iger? Do you think they're ever going to be able to move past the stupidity and terrible mistakes that they have made? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And guys, also go check out Ivan Ortega's channel. He is awesome. He is great. Go check out his other videos too. But also click on the link below. It's going to be to his newest trailer for The Last Jedi Recut. I cannot wait for it to be released. I cannot wait to watch it. And I know he's put his heart and his soul into this project. So please show him some love, because this is a man who is so damn talented and is wanting to share that talent with all of you for nothing. And I think that's amazing. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. You are all amazing, beautiful people. Have a great day. And as always, God bless.